Question. Luang Por, do you have a method of cultivating the Four Sublime Attitudes, Brahma-vihāra, you can recommend to your students? Answer. Yes, I can explain it and provide advice. The topic of the Four Sublime Attitudes is Dhamma for adults. If someone has the Four Sublime Attitudes ingrained in their mind, regardless of the young age, they will be considered an adult. If an adult is 50, 60, or 70 years old, but does not possess the Four Sublime Attitudes, they will be considered a child. A rascal child, in fact. Not having sense makes you immature. As a practitioner, you should pay attention to these Four Sublime Attitudes. When it comes to the Four Sublime Attitudes, even the single word, mettā, just mettā on its own, covers so much significance. See, this world of ours dwells in the Four Sublime Attitudes for the most part. You can see it in Thailand or other countries. Just study it. The Four Sublime Attitudes exist in every race, every country, every language, every religion, though they are deficient. Now, does Thailand possess these Four Sublime Attitudes? Yes. Sometimes it is deficient in some places as well. Some people have done a lot of studying of the Four Sublime Attitudes, but are unable to put them into practice. However, they can speak of them all day and night. Mettā, karuṇā, muditā, upekkhā. They can speak of them all day and night, but do not know how to practice them. This is basically not possessing them. The Four Sublime Attitudes have existed with the world since forever. Even when a Buddhist religion had not arisen in the world, the Four Sublime Attitudes existed. They existed before the Buddha as well. The Four Sublime Attitudes aren't something new. They are old. Before our Buddha, people in ancient times, many tens of thousands of years, many thousands of years, or hundreds of thousands of years ago, did those people feel loving kindness, mettā, for one another? Yes. Were people compassionate toward one another? Yes. Were people righteous, Dhamma, toward one another, feel muditā and support others who did good and rejoice, anumodana, with them? Yes. But there were also those who felt resentful. Were there people who felt equanimity, upekkhā? Yes. See, the Four Sublime Attitudes are the world's sublime attitudes. They will continue to exist in this way. Even when the Buddhist religion goes extinct in 5,000 years, the Four Sublime Attitudes will continue to exist like this. It will continue to be an instinct in all sentient beings. For instance, loving kindness, mettā. Mettā has existed with the world since forever. If the world's sentient beings are born and do not have mettā for one another, they cannot coexist. Even animals, tilachana, have mettā for one another. They can live together. Take red ants. They live together as a group. They have mettā for one another and feel compassion for one another. They live together, protect one another. When something is going to hurt them, they help protect one another. They have mettā for the group. See, mettā exists with the world. Mettā is what sustains this world. If this world were without loving kindness, the world would be devastated. The world would be devastated naturally on its own. But that is impossible. Mettā exists with the world. Some kinds of animals regularly eat the meat of other animals. Even so, they still have mettā. They have mettā for their offspring. Tigers, for example. Lions, for example. They have mettā for their offspring. See, this world of ours cannot be without mettā. This world of ours exists with mettā. We humans, all of us, have mettā, only differing in degree. Some people have mettā for a small group, for their own family. When it comes to other people, they will criticize everything, disparage them, hit them, steal from them. They do not have mettā for others, but they still have mettā for their own family. This mettā is short. It is too insufficient. However, some people have more mettā than this. When it comes to this, within the same household, they are righteous toward all. They are supportive of others. They have mettā for others. See, mettā is different. It differs in degree, but everyone possesses it. The term karuṇā is compassion. This compassion, whether it is compassion for humans or compassion for animals, is characteristic of karuṇā. This characteristic exists throughout the world. Do people of other religions, such as Hindu or Islam, possess karuṇā? Yes, they also feel compassion. For instance, upon seeing various animals, they even buy fruits and vegetables for birds and animals to eat. This is omnipresent. It is a human instinct upon being born to have compassion for fellow sentient beings. For example, people who raise fish, when the fish are hungry, they buy food for the fish to eat. This is karuṇā. What about pets? Do foreigners have pets? They do as well. They feed animals food as well. For example, in America and India, where I have been, I observed that there is mettā and karuṇā. They are Hindus. They possess righteousness, Dhamma. This righteousness is righteousness that exists with the world. The more mettā a person possesses, the less various harmful consequences, dosa, and perils, paya, from external things will cause ruin for that person. The more mettā that person possesses, wherever they go or wherever they are bound to be respected by others. Simply put, they are someone who possesses charm. People love them and people wish them well. Wherever they go, people accommodate them with shelter and food and always treat them righteously. This is the benefit of mettā. What if a person does not have mettā for others? Wherever they go, there are only perils. Eventually they will get assaulted and many other things will happen to them that will cause them suffering. They will lament to themselves, I didn't try to kill them. Why are they assaulting me? Why are they robbing me? For example, that is the old karma that you cultivated. You don't treat others with mettā first. Then the karmic retribution came afterward. So cultivate mettā. Now, in chanting Sabbe sattā sukhitā hontu, that mettā is merely chanting. It is a customary chant. However, true mettā lies within your own heart. When you chant it, is your heart aligned with it? Or do you chant it but are still able to hurt others and kill animals, for instance? It won't do. You must gauge your own heart. If your heart has mettā for someone or for animals, even if you do not chant it, you still have mettā. Upekkhā, or equanimity, was already explained just now. If there is something that you cannot effectively help, you must have upekkhā. For example, you see someone about to kill someone or assault someone. You cannot help them, so you must have upekkhā. Do not be troubled along with them. Do not cry along with them. Consider it the karma of animals. Or if you see a snake or see a fish eating a fish, you cannot help them, so you must let it go. It must be. It's impossible to help. If it is something that isn't impossible, then help. Help to the fullest. If it is impossible to help, then you must let it go. That is upekkhā. Consider it the karma of animals. This is a method for the Four Sublime Attitudes. As for what I have explained, does anyone have questions? See, indifference is just claiming to have mettā. Upekkhā is already composed of mettā. They are on the same course. You still have mettā toward them, but you cannot help them. It's impossible. That is mettā and upekkhā. Another type of indifference is when there is no mettā. It cannot be upekkhā that way. That's too much indifference. Some things you can help with, but you don't help. There is just indifference. It's too upekkhā. It's upekkhā that is not righteous. That doesn't count as upekkhā. That's someone who's useless. That doesn't count. That upekkhā has no righteousness in the heart. Decide for yourself what kind of result you want, whether you want to benefit many or benefit few. Leading with benefiting many is good. If you help them, if there is something that is about to happen, there will be some suffering, but there are more positive consequences. You must decide to take the positive consequences.